Hello, welcome pen friends. Welcome to day 30 of Ink Journals Challenge. 30 inks, 30 days that I've been participating in and sharing with you every day. So this is the final day because it's the last day of September. So this is the color I'm doing today, Monteverde Mandarin Orange. But you might have noticed there's a lot of water here. We've got some water tests to do. And just real briefly, yesterday's Rohr and Klinger Sulfurino is totally disappeared. So there's the report on that one. But we've got today's ink on here to do. And then we've got the two envelopes. So I'm hoping this will work, and then we'll just try to make room for the rest of the video. And I'll be giving you a report on the envelopes in my follow-up video from the challenge. So here goes. Here's the little one for today. Gonna try to do this in this little pizza container here. Okay, I was worried if you get too much water in there, it just may like go over the edge. But there we go. There's that one. Look at that. It comes out, but not too neon orange. Now, let's see. Let's do the Clairefontaine next. Here's where I wrote with the Monteverde Mandarin Orange. And it looked really good. Of course, that's Clairefontaine Triumph envelope stationery. You know, it's a real nice envelope. So, let's see what happens. Here we go. Now, this is all new to me, but oh, look at the colors. Look at the colors. Of course, there's going to be a few that don't go away. So, there we have it for that one. Now, this is the cheaper Ampad brand. And here is, at the bottom, Monteverde Mandarin Orange. I didn't notice maybe a little less feathering with this. It's a little bit drier, maybe, coming out of the pen. But let's see what happens. Oh my, look at that rainbow. It's worth it just for that, I guess. Because I'm wondering how we're going to get this out of the way so I can do the rest of the video. But I've got a couple ideas. Ooh, see, that paper's not, you know, that's cheap paper. It is a security envelope, but But, you know, you never know what might make a difference. So let's just agitate it a little, make sure it's getting plenty of water. Oh, all the pretty colors are mixing up. But I think this will be fun, and on the next video, I'll give you a good look at what it looked like after it did this for a good long time. So, very interesting. Got some interesting observations already here. Okay, Mandarin Orange is getting faded here, but we've got a lot to cover on this color, so I guess what I'll do, just making sure that these get, it's like filling up with air or something, get plenty of water so that they are getting, yeah, they're all submerged there. Okay, we will put them aside, much fun as it is. Because I do like seeing it. Okay, I'm gonna stack them, and they're not really going anywhere. They're just right here on the corner of my desk. So we'll let them stay right there, and we'll move this little pizza thing over. And now I can start showing you how I came out in my journals. Let's see. Number one is, let me dry up here a little bit. Number one is the Rhodia Gold Book, my ink journal, which is my favorite place to be. Let's go right to there. So now we finally, ta-da, filled out all of the 30 places. And of course I learned some lessons about, you know, ink bleeding through from the back. So it's not particularly pretty down here, but they're all on here, and it gives me a nice quick reference for the ink colors. And when I come in here months from now, I'll be able to see, you know, with the chart and everything. So there it is. So I had like a disturbance here and these two places where, I don't know, I guess I had a dirty paintbrush there. But all right, let's see how it came out, because this is a pretty ink. And it's quite different. The only other ink I've really had a lot of time with in the orange family is Diamine Pumpkin. So this is a deeper, kind of a more muted orange, but it's gorgeous, I think, and we're getting a fairly good representation with the lighting today. So I got so excited I put my first impressions before the availability, but it is widely available, and I did a little calculating. It's available at Jet Pens in that 30 ml size for $8, but you are paying then 27 cents per milliliter. And at Goulet, you can get it in a 90 milliliter for 15, and that would make it 17 cents. So, of course, a lot of times I don't maybe need that much ink, but I guess that's good to share ink with pen friends and, you know, get a better deal. So, there's that to think about. But I have two bottles, other bottles of Monteverde ink. I have like California Teal and Canyon Rust in the 90 mil bottles. So I like the bottles, and I like how they look and everything, and the price is right. So, but there it is on Tomoe River paper. It kind of got a little more faded, so that was interesting because it stays brighter on the Rhodia Gold book. And my impressions are that this will be even easier on the eye than Diamine Pumpkin. And Diamine Pumpkin is nice to write with. It's a little brighter. And we'll look at some comparisons in a little while. I've never really had any trouble with that color, but this is even more of a fall color and a not quite so intensely bright. So I think it will appeal to more people than some of the brighter electric oranges. So let's get into... This is the Cafe Note Tomoe River paper by Nanami Paper Company, and I've written in here. And I did notice that it doesn't come across quite as bright even on here, but it's nice. It's a nice. You could read this. You could look at this, and I think in a letter it would not be obnoxious. In my opinion, it would be just real nice for fall and everything. So, and I'm doing well. Got a few things to work out, but as usual, it's worth it. It's worth the price on this intermittent fasting and low carb. So there's that one. And then it behaved really well on all my paper. This is the Leuchtturm dot grid right out of the 1917 bullet journal, and it looks nice. It has a little bit of shading, not too much, but it's just that nice orange. Let's see if we can... See, we had Montblanc Lucky Orange. Let's see. It's going to be upside down, but you can see this is much darker, deeper, the Monteverde. So that was day 2. And day 2, I wasn't yet making the color panels, so we are going to see those two on the same color panel in a minute. But this is the Clairefontaine Spiral Notebook. Real nice paper. Expensive, but worth it. And it shades nice on there, and it looks good. It's that nice deep color. Okay. I had no problems with any of these papers with bleed through or anything. And this is the CVS caliber paper, which we'll talk about this later, but I think this deserves an award of some kind. Hope they don't change how they're making this paper. There it is. Looked real nice, I thought. I'm just up there with the big guys, so. Ooh, it just got real dark outside. Good thing I got lights. This is the Rhodia dot pad. And once again, there's some shadows because it just get tanked outside. I think we're going to have a storm. Dark and pretty, and no bleed through on any of these papers that I can remember. We'll examine this one. This is the one where it can happen, the Office Depot College Ruled Notebook. But up here was the Lucky Orange, the brighter orange that we did on day 2. And then, let's see if we can have them in the same view here. I don't know, maybe. And then down here is the Monteverde Mandarin Orange, deeper and but nice, and no bleed through. When you go to the back, here it is, and it was in the broad nib, and it didn't bleed through. So I'm thrilled with that. That's awesome. So I was happy, and wow, was it fun last night to do this. Here's our... We don't have a whole lot of extra space here. Let me see if I can get that. Here's our color board for today. And some of these don't really match entirely, of course. We go from the extreme, like this one here. Caran d'Ache Electric Orange is just, woo, yeah, it's real bright. And here we are, though, with the color for today. Monteverde Mandarin Orange up here. And this gives us a chance to really see how it compares, because here's the one we did on day 2, Lucky Orange. It's brighter. And even Diamine Pumpkin is brighter, yet Diamine Pumpkin is between these two, at least by my eye, what I'm seeing. So you've got so many choices. And then I found that Robert Oster Orange Zest, I had a little sample of that. That falls very close as far as my eye can see. And I'd have to compare those, you know, out of the same pen. You know, I'd have to get a paper. And of course, in this ink challenge, that's not how we're doing things. We're only keeping one pen inked up and cleaning it out every day. And or it can be a different pen, but you know, this is different. So some of these projects I'll need to do going forward, because I'm really interested in how this one compares with the shading. And if I remember right, Diamine Pumpkin doesn't have dramatic shading, but it's a gorgeous ink. And I have it in a 30 ml bottle of that one. That's the only one of these that I have a bottle. And it, you know, it's been a really fun ink. Now this one in the middle, I put it in the middle because see that sparkle? That's a shimmer ink by Diamine, and it's called Inferno. It was one of the very first samples I ever bought. And I love it, but I love it for art. I don't believe I want to write with it and mess with the pen, and you know, but oh, how it looks on this watercolor paper. This is 140-pound watercolor paper. This was just, this was pure fun last night. I'll show you how I started. I started with many more. I had all of these, and then I did eliminate some, like right off the bat, where I just can't help myself with all that shimmer. I'm moving things. The deeper one, the new J. Arvon Coraline de Egypt, that one is darker, and I didn't feel it. It veered toward brown in my eye anyway. And so I eliminated some, like, yeah, I didn't put Kaveco Sunrise on there either, even though it would have been okay to look at them side by side like that. Oh yeah, I was going to point out that I actually started to see some similarities between these reds. They're red, but they're so deep. They almost, you know, I thought it was worthy to put it on here. These Diamine Wild Strawberry and Karen Dash Infrared, even though when you see the color come out, then you're definitely seeing the red here. So that kind of eliminates them. But it's interesting how when you just look at the color at the top, it's interesting. It's very similar. So, very, you know, it must be the composition of the ink, but this was really fun. Oh gosh, I'm already getting long-winded, and there's a couple more things. So let's pull over our water things. Okay, so that's going to be very typical, it looks like. But we'll see that on the follow-up video again. And then here's the Clairefontaine. Okay, we've seen a disappearance of almost everything. That's interesting. Huh, well now this is something else over here. Maybe it's because of all that air puffing up. But if you compare them, we started on day 13 and went right down to day 30. So they're exactly the same. I'm seeing more stuff left on that envelope. It's not in good shape, but that's an interesting experiment, actually. Huh. I will dry these up on a towel, and on the follow-up video, which I'm planning to do soon. I can't say exactly when. I got a couple of things I got to see to. But there we have it. I think that's very interesting. And of course you could screenshot and pause and look at it and see all kinds of little interpretations, but I'm going to push them aside for now because I'd like to just show you two other tiny little things, and then I'll disappear till the next one. I just wanted to talk just briefly about this. I thought this was just a really good, where is that? Here it is. A really good crystal for today. This is the orange carnelian, and it's, you know, it reminds me of creativity, and it reminds me of the sacral chakra, the creating, and all of that. It just and when I started reading about it in the crystal book, it was amazing. So there's a lot of ooh, there's thunder in the background. Let me grab that crystal book. Just, you know, there's a lot in there, and I won't go over all of it. You can look it up too, but I just really liked how it talked about healing. It actually even talked about improving the absorption of vitamins and minerals. And aren't I talking about that every day? Like, I know I've got these weird cramps and stuff going on with trying to lose weight and become real healthy. And in addition to all of what it says about creativity, concentration, you know, it helps emotionally against negative feelings, and it's just amazing. It actually says overcomes negative conditioning and encourages steadfastness. But it's just full of good stuff, and I would encourage you to look it up if you're interested. But it just was a match for today's, and when I do my Instagram photo, I'm going to incorporate it in there. And then the other thing that I pulled out is I use essential oils, and this is wild orange, and this is peppermint. And that was the first thing I learned about essential oils, was the kind of aromatherapy aspect. And when I went to, it actually was a depression support group, they had a girl come in and talk to us about the oils, and she put 1 drop of wild orange and 1 of peppermint in each of our hands, and, you know, and then had us, you know, rub them together, and then we just made kind of a cup and breathed the oils, and wow, they really are an interesting kind of a mood lifter, and it's so amazing what they'll do. I don't sell these. I'm just telling you because I thought right away, oh, it's a rainy day and I just want to feel like it's sunny, but I thought about the oils and I got them out, and these are just my little tiny sample ones, and I thought about how it kind of went with today's. So oh wow, I went way over, but I'll probably be even longer on the next video, because on the next video I really want to talk about the whole challenge, the whole kind of a recap, and then I'll show you the envelopes and everything. So I'll be back with that as soon as I can, because I'm excited and I got a lot of ideas. So I will see you later. Thank you for sticking in there with me. Thank you so much for being here for 30 days of these videos, these vlogs, or whatever you want to call them. It's been great for me, and I have been blessed by your comments that indicate that many of you have enjoyed it and might even miss it now that it's going to be over, but it's really not over. Just these particular inks, we've done them, but we'll be doing more. So I'll see you next time, and have a blessed day. Bye for now.